And well, it's a big twist in the Kerala flood aid politics. UAE ambassador has now said that UAE never made the offer of 700 crore rupees for the Kerala flood relief. This is a big twist that has come in after all the politics that we've been witnessing over the last few days. The centre, who had clarified that they had politely declined the offer as per their policy. This after we saw the opposition majorly escalate this issue, blaming the centre on why they were not accepting UAE's offer, why they were not accepting the relief money that UAE was offering. And we also saw how the Kerala government had reacted to it. But all this steam now dies down as UAE ambassador has clarified that UAE never made the offer of 700 crore rupees for the Kerala flood relief in the very first place. We now wait to see how the opposition reacts to it. The Congress, who really escalated this matter and blamed the centre on why they were not accepting this offer. Aditya Rajkaul, our associate editor, will be joining us in a short while to give us all the details on this latest development that has come in this case. But questions are now being raised on whether this entire matter, this entire angle that came about was made up in the very first place so that the matter could be politicized. Highly shameful though, when we saw 373 people lose their lives in the Kerala floods, and who is responsible for this? But for now, a big development coming in as UAE ambassador has clarified that UAE never offered India an assistance of 700 crore rupees for Kerala flood relief. Of course, we'll continue to get you more voices on this from the opposition, of course, who have really escalated this matter. And the story now taking a completely different turn with this fresh clarification that has been made by the UAE ambassador that this offer was never made in the first place. Then why is it that we saw so much politicization on this very angle since the last few days? This even as Kerala is on its way to recovery, and the Modi government that gave 500 crore rupees for Kerala flood relief. And we saw a lot of back and forth in the statements that were happening, the opposition blaming the Modi government for not just offering enough to the state of Kerala in this time of crisis, but also not accepting help from UAE. Niranjan Narayanaswamy, our editor, is joining us on the phone line. Over to you, Niranjan. How did this come about now that UAE is clarifying that they never made the offer in the first place? Niranjan, if you can hear me, what are the latest details you're picking up, considering this clarification is coming in from the UAE ambassador that UAE never made the offer of 700 crore rupees for Kerala flood relief? All right, I believe we've lost that audio line with Niranjan. We will get him in a short while. But for now, we are breaking this latest piece of information that has come about, this latest development, where UAE ambassador has clarified that UAE never made the offer of 700 crore rupees for Kerala flood relief. Niranjan is back with us on the phone line. Niranjan, give us details. How did this start in the first place? If UAE says that they never made the offer, was this made up for the kind of politicization that we saw in this case?
Well, it's a curious case because you had the Chief Minister of Kerala who came out and made the announcement, and you also had several political leaders also quote that figure, and was reported across the media and including wires. So how the number of $100 million was reached has now become a mystery. But as far as the UAE is concerned, the ambassador speaking to the media Ahmad Albana has told a leading daily that the assessment of relief needed for the flood and aftermath is ongoing. He says announcing any specific amount as financial aid, I don't think it is final, since it is still ongoing. So we don't know whether there was any conversation between any representative from the UAE, with the Kerala Chief Minister. But he did say that it is not final, it has not been announced. Now, this is curious because if it has not been announced, on what basis did the Kerala Chief Minister, the government of Kerala, And how was it reported in the first place? How did the figure of 700 crore come about? Now, that is the big question. Did the Congress and all the opposition parties that are now saying that the government must allow this 700 crore to come in, now, on what basis are they making this big claim? Now, that is the big question. Now, we'll also try and, get the official version of the UAE. But going by what the UAE envoy has told the leading daily, that the assessment of relief needed for flood and aftermath is ongoing. The fact that it is ongoing is curious. Announcing any specific amount as financial aid, I don't think it is final. It says since it is still ongoing. If it is not final, how was the 700 crore or $100 million reached upon? Now, this is a big question, Surisha, but, we will also have to question the opposition today, because the opposition may have just jumped the gun. On what basis are they playing flood relief politics? Because 700 crore is a big amount, and they used that amount to directly contrast it to what the Prime Minister had announced. The Prime Minister had announced an amount of 600 crore rupees. They had asked for in excess of 2,000 crore. Prime Minister had announced 600 crore. They used the 700 crore rupees figure to contrast directly to what the Prime Minister had given, and they raised questions. Now, if the UAE government hasn't offered this at all, then on what basis were they making the comparison? It's a big embarrassment for the opposition. And even the Kerala government will have to face some questions, and they will have some answering to do, whether they jumped the gun on the issue of the aid or on whether there was an official announcement, because the UAE ambassador will not just make a comment saying that the amount itself, the figure, the discussion is ongoing, because if it is ongoing, then 100 million is a huge amount to quote to the media, and the Kerala Chief Minister did that when he spoke to the media.